All right, welcome back to another helpful tip video on how to use a graphing calculator. You probably know how to do all this, and you probably remember from math, but if you don't, this video is for you. And so what you're seeing on the screen is a pretty standard graphing calculator that most math classes will have. And so we'll turn it on here, and we'll get out of that. All right, so now what I really wanted to show you all was how to first use your calculator to help simplify fractions. There was a video prior that we had to use fractions. So a lot of times I get questions from students on how to put fractions in this calculator, and then also how can this calculator, can it simplify a fraction for me, which it can. There's just kind of a sequence of buttons that you need to press. So how you can add fractions, let's say. So say you have 5/8. So you put parenthesis, comma, or your parenthesis, your number, divided by 8, parentheses. So that's 5/8 plus, let's say, 6. Okay, so if you add that, there's 6.625, right? So that's 6 and 5/8. Now, how do you express that as a fraction, right? Because all those problems that I was doing was in improper fraction. So how you do that, it's really simple. So you have your decimal number, right, rational number, and then all you do is you come up here and you press math, and then the first one, frac, F-R-A-C, right, you hit enter, and then you hit enter, and then there is your answer, 53/8, okay? So let's do that again. So say you have -6 plus 5/12. So 5 divided by 12, right? So you do the math, it's -5.583333, repeating. So you press math, and then you hit enter, enter, and it's -67/12, right? So if you did the math by hand, you would get the same thing. Now, the next thing is how to use this to simplify a fraction, right? So say we want to put in the fraction 25/30ths, okay? And that's kind of big. So if you were doing this by hand, remember you could divide both top and bottom by 5, right? But if you don't struggle with math, right, that's okay. So you just type in parenthesis 25 divided by 30, parenthesis, hit enter, and you'll get your decimal, and then you press math, enter, enter, and there you go, 5/6, right? Same thing, it works for negatives as well. So say you have -32 divided by 16, let's say, right? So you hit enter. Oh, well, okay, that was a dumb that was a dumb problem. But let's say you say -9 divided by 30. Let's say that won't simplify to a nice number. So you get -0.3, and then you hit math, enter, enter, and that's -3/10. So there you go. The second thing that kind of came up in the last couple of videos was how to determine a solution, right? This is something that I use personally. I know how to do everything algebraically, of course, but I'd much rather just use a calculator. It's much faster, and it makes sure you do the math right. So what you do is you come in here and you type your equation, right? So let's say it's 3x plus 5, right? So 3. Now, I see a lot of students sometimes, you're like, well, how do you put an x in? It's this button right here. Yeah, x, t, theta, in, whatever. You just press that, and it always presses x. So 3x plus 5. If you press graph, there's your graph. Hey, look at that. It's a sweet line. Now, if you want to find the table, right, a t-chart, find your solution, let's say, you just press second graph, right, and here's a chart, of numbers that you can scroll up and you can scroll down, right? You may be like, holy cow, what are all these numbers, right? Well, yours probably will start at 0, right? And it will probably be going up and down by 1. So let me change that real quick, right? So it should look like this, right? So you can sit here and scroll, right? And you can scroll this way, you can scroll the other way, and there you go. Right now, if you want to say jump to 100, that's what I had on the thing before. You can press second window and it says table start. So this is where you will change this number. You're not going to mess anything up. So if you change this to 100, let's say second graph, right? So there you go. So there's all your values. There's your values at 100. So it should be 305. If it's not 305, then it's not a solution, right? So that is a really quick way to use a calculator to get the math. As long as you put your equation in, um, you'll always get the right answer. So that's what I do. It works for me. If it doesn't, you like the algebraic way, go for it. So yeah, so hopefully these little tips help you start learning this graphing calculator. I know it can do a lot of really cool stuff, and hopefully I can share that my knowledge with you to help you get through college algebra. So anyway, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask either in the comment section below, or you can email me, and my email's in the description. Thanks.